Hey everyone, are you ready for a story? Get comfy because today we're going on an amazing adventure. It's all about two friends you would never ever expect to see together. A great big strong lion and a teeny tiny little mouse. So I've got a question for you right at the start. Do you really think a tiny little mouse could ever be a hero for a huge mighty lion? Well, let's find out together. All right, let's jump right into our story. It all begins in a magical, amazing jungle. Wow, look at this place. We're deep in a magical jungle. The trees are so green and it feels like they're whispering secrets to each other. You can see colorful birds flying and butterflies just dancing in the air. What a happy, peaceful place for our story to start. And who's this? Well, this is the king of the jungle himself. He's a big, strong lion, but you know what? He's also got a very kind heart. He just loves strolling through his jungle, taking it all in. You know, after a nice long walk, the warm sun can make you feel so sleepy. And that's exactly what happened to our lion friend. He started to yawn, and he looked around for the perfect, cozy spot for a nap. Ah, there it is, right under that big, shady tree. And just like that, his heavy eyes began to close, and soon he was fast asleep. Look at him. He's dreaming sweet dreams. You can even see a little smile on his face. He looks so peaceful, doesn't he? But hold on a second. What's that little sound? Scurry, scurry. It's our other friend, a tiny, playful mouse, and he is just full of energy today. Now, this little mouse was having so much fun exploring and playing, he didn't even notice the giant, sleeping lion right in front of him. In fact, he thought the lion's big, furry back looked like a brand new hill to climb up. Uh-oh. Okay, so this is where things get really interesting. What happens next is a huge surprise, and it leads to a very important promise. Well, all that scurrying and climbing on his back, it tickled the lion. And just like that, his big eyes popped right open. Can you imagine how surprised he was? What do you think he's going to do? The big lion sat up and whoosh, he caught the little mouse right in his giant paw. Wow, look at that. The mouse is so tiny inside that big, strong paw. The poor little guy must be so scared. And then came the roar, a great big roar that probably shook the whole jungle. Oh, he was not happy about being woken up from his nap. And that poor little mouse, he was shaking like a leaf. With his heart beating so fast, the tiny mouse looked up at the giant lion. In his littlest, squeakiest voice, he said, "Oh, please, Mr. Lion, sir, please forgive me. It was an accident." But then, something really wonderful happened. The lion looked down at this tiny, trembling mouse, and his big, kind heart just melted. That grumpy face turned into a gentle smile. He slowly opened his paw and said, "It's okay, little one. You can go." The mouse couldn't believe it. He was so happy and so grateful. As he was about to run off, he turned back and made a big promise. He said, "Thank you. I promise one day I'll find a way to help you." Well, a few days went by, and the lion completely forgot about that little mouse and his silly promise. But then, the lion got into some very serious trouble. Oh no! Look! The lion was just taking a walk when suddenly, bam! A hunter's net dropped down from a tree and trapped him. He's all tangled up in those strong ropes, and he can't get out. He looks so scared and sad, doesn't he? He struggled and struggled, but it was no use. The lion was trapped. So he did the only thing he could think of. He took a giant breath and let out the biggest, loudest roar for help you have ever heard. That roar traveled all through the jungle. And guess who heard that roar? That's right, our little mouse friend. His tiny ears perked up. He knew that roar. It wasn't an angry roar, it was a help me roar. And he knew it was his friend, the lion. And he remembered his promise. So what did that brave little mouse do? He didn't even think twice. He just started running. He ran as fast as his little legs could possibly go, following the sound of that roar, determined to save his friend. And there he was, the lion, trapped in that big, thick net. Those ropes were super strong, but guess what? The mouse had super sharp little teeth. He jumped right onto the net and got to work. Chew, chew, chew on the first rope. Snap. Chew, chew, chew on the next one. Snap. And because of what that little mouse did, both the lion and the mouse learned something really, really important that day. He kept chewing and chewing until snap. The very last rope broke and the lion was free. The lion just couldn't believe it. This tiny little mouse had saved his life. And from that day forward, the huge lion and the tiny mouse were the best of friends you've ever seen. So what's the big lesson in this story? Well, it shows us that an act of kindness, no matter how small, is never, ever wasted. The lion showed a little kindness, and the mouse paid it back in a huge way. It proves that anyone, big or small, can be a great friend and a big help. So as you go play today, maybe think about the lion and the mouse. And ask yourself, how can I be a big help to someone, just like that brave little mouse was? Thanks so much for listening, everyone.